Omicron variant of the C-19. I had to talk to that brother because my mother had got it and she passed away from it. But he's able to survive and come back, and now he is a IFBB pro himself. So welcome, madam, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, not a problem, not a problem. I love how you lovely lady said. You got to see the guy. She had a lovely body. You should saw it. So, so first question I got to ask you: what got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
Oh man. Well, I've always been into movement, whatever that may mean, like working out in the gym, rock climbing, sailing, skiing, hiking, any type of movement, like into it. But I didn't really know how to lift properly, and I had carried this dream of finding a female trainer who was also a bodybuilder to work with and coach me and sort of show me how to lift weights, how to work with barbells, and eventually start competing. And it was just a dream. It wasn't something that I had really put a lot of time or intention or thought into. I ended up moving to Key West for school in, I think, 22, and just did a late night Google search, female bodybuilder trainer near me, and Oksana popped up right like 5 minutes down the road. And so I walked into Body Zone and met with her, and they took me on. I started training with Oksana for about, I don't know, maybe almost a year. And then when I was ready to start competing, Artem took me under his wing, and it just happened really fast. I was on stage, I think, within a year, and my career in bodybuilding has been quite short. This was only my third season, but I'm like addicted to it. I fucking love it.
Well, the thing is, it's a sport of passion, and I've known some ladies. Like one example was a lady who was at Tampa, who actually the year she made her bodybuilding debut was the same year she turned pro, and also the same year she made her pro debut as Hunter Henderson. She came back almost 4 years from the time she made her pro debut at Tampa, and again she placed second. Amazing physique. I mean, I follow on social media, and I know quite some ladies who have been in the ditches for a long time, the NPC, and still try to get that pro card. It's a lot of tough. It's good that I think you found someone like Oksana and Autumn who probably saw your potential and really kind of help it go along.
Yeah, when I walked into the gym the first time, I mean, I was very lanky because the only thing I was doing at the time, living on this little island, not knowing anybody, I was going on these long distance bike rides, biking like usually like between 50 and 70 miles several times a week, just by myself, not having anything else to do. So I was just kind of skin and bones, but I still had decent muscle on me. And I remember like her squeezing my arm and being like, we can work with this. So yeah.
You feel like she eye you down like Ivan Draco and Rocky says, "I must break you." So that's great that she saw your potential, and that's good. Especially, I think I talk to ladies sometimes. There's a debate: which is a better trainer, working with a woman or working with a man? Because sometimes women understands the factors of a woman's body, how to grow, how to develop. Also the chemical balance and stuff like that. Y'all women, y'all have certain things like periods and stuff like that. Men, we don't. We have periods where we act like fools sometimes, especially when it comes over women. But it's good that you work with you and found your potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really glad I started off with her. I think I mean, I still am like a very shy, sort of quiet person. And so easing my way in, it was the right way to go. I had a lot of anxiety about being in the gym. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't belong here. I have this goal of competing, but like, I don't look anything like these other people that are competing. And then when I started working with Artem, it was very similar coaching style. They're both very cool, calm, collected, quiet. As long as you do the work and show up, like I'm not good at people like yelling at you or they don't coach like that. Sometimes Oksana will talk so quietly where I have to like lean in to hear her. So it goes along with my sort of, I guess, peaceful Zen aesthetic. When I'm in the gym, that's time for myself where I almost go into a meditation space and get to just zone out and not have to think about anything else other than my breath. And I just leave all the other shit at the door. So they were perfect people to start with for sure.
Yeah, it was a great chance for me to meet them both at Tampa. They seem like they're great people, a great couple. They. I think really that's the thing that's important to find people are that fits your personality, that understands what kind of person you are, especially coming along in sport. Because bodybuilding, there's so much to it that most people don't understand. Like the everyday person, when you talk about bodybuilding, it's like, oh, you lift weights and take steroids. No, there's more to it. You have to follow a diet. You have to be consistent. You have to train. You have to eat properly. You just can't eat like, anything, everything. You have to have the right things to help you build your muscle and also develop as an athlete. We have here my man, shout out to my man Josh Simpkins coming through. Shout out to Josh. He says, what's good, George and Cat Black? Not much, brother. What's good with you? Appreciate it for coming through. So, what was that like for you? Especially you only been you like I said earlier with you. You still old saying goes by. You're still wet behind the ears and breath smell like Similac. How was that feeling for your first time on stage?
First time on stage, I was so nervous, which is funny thinking about it now because it was, a smaller local show. But yeah, incredibly nervous. And then as soon as I got on stage, it just all went away. And I was like, okay, I'm here to do what I've come to do. I've done all the work, and I just enjoyed it. I was, I think, most surprised by the camaraderie of the other ladies, everyone just helping each other out, being super supportive, sharing food and honey and complimenting each other. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking it would be more of a competition where people would be head to head and enemies. And I was just very relieved that I still haven't seen anything like that at a show.
Well, I think I've talked to some ladies that sometimes you do have that understanding camaraderie because, especially for women, guys can be competitive, but also there's some good natured people who just want to help you along. I remember one lady who she competed at USA's with you last year. That's Leslie Wilson. I'm sorry, Leslie, I pronounced your last name. And she had a situation where her suit it broke. And she told me as the lady lent her suit, like she had an extra suit, she lent it to her, and she won her pro card that day because she did she was at Chicago Pro, she did Miss International, but didn't win, but then went to USA's and she won, and I think she won the women's bodybuilding. I think she won the overall, if I kind of remember, not the overall, but she won her class. But yeah, it's good to find people who are genuinely want to help you, especially as a path as a bodybuilder.
Yeah. It caught me off guard. Someone the other day asked me, well, who's your competition? I surely you've got ladies who you're competing, who are serious competition with you. And I was like, well, I guess everybody, but really myself, I'm my biggest competition. I mean, just to be better than last year, that's my main goal. But I guess I don't really think about it like that. Maybe if I get higher up in the ranks someday, I'll have true competition, but everyone.
Yeah. Well, you have that right there. Have ranks in your division. You have Sarah versus Natalia. That's
Yeah.
I remember they did that. They did that meetings thing. It's like watching a mongoose and a cobra in a room together. I mean, it's I feel it feels like it's the energy. You feel like it's. You remember the series? There was a TV show called it was a movie called The Highlander. Whenever they come in the room, when the end of the immortals come around each other, they cinch each other. And he says, "There can be only one. You got to take to somebody's head." So anyway, folks, we're going to do here while we got Kat here and talking with her, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. If you want to follow her link description of this live. You can check her out, support her path as a bodybuilder. Wish you all the best of luck. Like I said, she's taking I think this year she's done 2 shows and she's planning on maybe coming back in 2026. So if you want to follow her, check out the links. But guys, she's a nice lady. Respectfully, guys. No weird shit. No D-pics. No nothing. Stop it. Get some help. I know you guys out there. you like these girls. They cite you. You get that little bit, but come on, stop it. They don't like that. No one likes that. Come on, get over yourself. So we're gonna jump over here into IG for a bit. And this is one of the shows you competed in. What was that show with the you went with the Shield?
So that was my first show, the Ultimate Grand Prix, and I believe that was in Boca.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, you look pretty good. Like I said, you still, got your baby muscles up, you got your hair color, nice features, got a great back. What was the critique from the judges from that show?
So I honestly don't remember. I do remember the positive feedback of people just telling me like keep going and try and get your pro card. So I was like, well, hell yeah, I'll keep going if this is what it's like.
So you got three rings there, and each was for, I think you were a novice, true novice, and I think you won the overall, right?
Yes.
That's pretty good. I mean, for your first time, I know with some regional shows you don't have as many competitors, but I think you get more when you hit the national level. And what's this? Is that a raccoon? It looks like yeah. I got white people.
Yes.
Y'all be touching you.
It's
Nah,
my
that's
IG
not.
is all over the place. I used to live in a
Yeah,
boat.
huh? Yeah, yeah. Where you were saying? Hello, cat. Cat.
Yeah, you're going in and out.
Oh, so must be a connection right now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Cat,
Yeah.
okay, it must be. Sometimes it's funny with my Wi-Fi. I got that. But what was that? Where were you living at the time when these were taken?
So I lived on a sailboat in Key West, and this was in the boatyard getting work done.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And here she is. This is from the Tampa show. And this was you're doing your performance because, like I said, you didn't find out till about later that you were in the top 10.
Yeah, this was the unexpected finals routine.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you always should be prepared just in case because, and it was a
Yes.
pretty good lineup. I mean, you had some top competitors. Zala Benzer, she won the show for a second time. Megan, I got to meet her at also Tampa. Megan Santa Barbara, she was amazing, and she deserved a win at the Atlanta Pro. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's really good. I mean, who's working with your posing?
So I worked with Rachel Daniels this year.
Oh, I got to meet her too, the real Lois Lane herself. I was wearing this
Yeah,
Superman shirt when I met her. I said, Lois Lane, I'm Superman.
yeah, she's such a badass. I was so excited to work with her because as far as posing goes, like she's totally like the best in my opinion.
Yeah, I think she's like very popular. She's already Olympic qualified. You know, you know, I would say she's a possibly top, three, top five competitor for this year. Here's nice little pictures and designs, and nice little wow, I like this picture here.
A little before and
um,
after of bodybuilding.
yeah, I think everybody should know who you were before, because not everybody's born a bodybuilder. I mean, it takes a lot of time and work. Here with her, Oksana and Autumn, and I mean they're pretty cool. I know they just did a show about a couple of weeks ago. That was the Max Fit, and I interviewed a lady who did that show with them, and y'all just really had a great reputation, a great relationship. I can see y'all very fun, and loving. It's good to have that with a coach.
Yeah, as far as like I guess like a relationship, like what a dream to be able to compete with your partner and work and train with your partner and like do it successfully because that could also go the other way, right? But the two of them are just so fun to be around because you really feel that love, like you soak it up. We stayed together in a hotel room for both Chicago and Tampa, and it was so fun.
Yeah, and this was your debut in Chicago, and you did not as well as you hoped to. I think sometimes that first show It's just the test, how well you can do. And then later on, maybe the next couple of shows, depending on how well you do and how well you can place, that makes the difference. Sometimes it
Yeah.
takes a good. I know somebody say it might take them 2 or 3 shows before they really start feeling and come together. Now here
Yeah.
she is doing some pull-ups. Which do you feel like is your best physical feature? Because I tell you, you got some crazy shoulders.
Well, honestly, I was feeling really down about my shoulders this year. I felt like my shoulders, or at least my delts, just like were more detailed last year. But my back is coming along. I'm working on, obviously I need to grow it a lot and work on my lats, but in the short time span I've been training, I'm quite happy with the work that's been done on my back.
Yeah, that's one thing I think a lot of people say this, the back is the one thing that really makes the break here at a show. Here she's like wearing a cowboy hat and some chaps, you know. Here was he hanging at a concert with some friends. Who's that?
So that's me.
What
I
the
it's an angle grinder.
what? You ever get burned? I mean, God.
No, the sparks go out fast.
Wow. I mean, flame on, Johnny. Johnny, go. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's something. How long you been doing that?
God, like maybe 16, 17 years.
Wow.
A while now.
Well, that's interesting. Everybody has a different talent, you know. I mean, that's something new to me. I mean, I've known ladies who do like design and stuff like that, and or they might be painting. I have a friend of mine, she's a painter, but something that I mean, saying I'm just like in awe of it. So so back to the interview, and just wow, guys, yeah, she was on fire. We have here shout out to my man, shout out to my man, CrossFit coming through. He says, there's like tiers, right? Yeah, there's different tiers when it comes to uh, you know, competitors. Everybody has different level. You have the top levels and ladies who's still coming up. Also, we get here. This is from man Josh says, some people don't know what it takes to be a bodybuilder. There is so much involved from prepping, hearing the coaches' feedback, and hearing the judges' feedback. Going to the gym to work on your physique. Yeah, that's the thing. It's so much to this sport. Also, this is from a man here across fat. He says, impressive back growth from then. And it's shot to my man XA Gucci. No, sorry, the wrong man. My man KL the Wonder says, what's going on? Not much, brother. What's going on with you? And like I said, you feel like your back is your best feature right now. What the thing you feel like you need to work on the most that really can probably help you in your placing?
Well, my feedback this year was I need bigger arms, bigger back, and bigger legs. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess my head is cool. But I worked on my legs heavily. That was my goal last year, to bring my legs up. So now they're pretty much the uniform. So overall size is my goal this year. And I wasn't happy with my abs on stage for either show. So I've been doing a lot more ab work with my cardio lately. But just like, yeah, tighter abs, wider back, fuller glutes, fuller legs overall.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Everybody has to work on your strength as much as your weaknesses, especially when you're training. Shout out to my man XA. He says this about Kat. Says, Kat is different. Yeah, she's something different. I mean, that's the thing is everybody's not gonna be the cookie cutter brand in bodybuilding. Like I said, I saw this picture earlier when I was going through her social media, and I just seeing it on there, it's wild. But also, like I said again, she does have present physique. She does have good shape, good condition in the back. The glutes look pretty good. I think one thing I think often is the problem sometimes with competitors is bringing those hamstring tie-ins in close to come together. but your back looks really good. You got that great taper, great condition around the shoulders and the traps. It's just like I said, it's a process. It takes time, and I know most definitely Autumn and Oksana know what they're doing because they got you this far.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. So this is a shot from a man. Cross Fat says back has really improved from those early picks. I appreciate that, brother. Also, shout out to my man Josh Simpkins. He says Cat has an impressive back. They love your back. And also she's shout out to my man XA says Cat is a super freak with a super freak's physique. But like I said earlier, you're telling that you came to Key West to go
I'll
to school.
take
What were
it.
Yeah. Well,
What's that?
early, I would say earlier you came to Key West to go to school. What were you studying that time?
So I moved down there to study diesel engineering because my boats kept breaking when I was doing charters, and I realized I should probably know how to fix them. But was not super impressed with the program at the school, and I ended up switching over pretty quickly into diving. So I became a dive instructor and what was it? Like basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. I never swam in my life. I float, but I never been in the water to do a lot of swimming. But a dive instructor, that's pretty good.
We got a crappy connection again, George.
Yeah, what's going on
It's
here?
going in and out.
It might be something. Well,
I
do me a
don't
favor.
know.
Talk to people for a good bit. I'm gonna pull myself out. Talk about something about sailing. And I'm gonna pull myself out. I'm gonna come back in. Maybe just something that's on my end. I just want to check.
All right, cool. So sailing. I started sailing, like, God, when I was probably like 18. I'm 35 now. I also became addicted to it really quickly. I love being out on the water. I do a lot of racing, did long distance racing, a couple MAC races. And then I went and got my captain's license a few years later, started doing charters. But yeah, it's like it goes along with that whole movement thing. I love being out on the water. It's very cathartic and relaxing, and also like fuels that urge to explore and adventure that I have. Unfortunately, because I'm bodybuilding now, it's really affected a lot of things that I can and can't do in my life, which sailing is one of them. I can't go out or do long races because you'll be out in the water for 4 or 5 days sometimes and not able to train or really control your diet. So I'm missing it quite a bit, but I'm making it work, and decided after Tampa I'd give it probably another 5 years and just train as hard as I can, see if I can make it, give a shot for the O, and then move on and think about the rest of my life career-wise, because I've gotten some really cool job offers that I had to decline because I'm just so into bodybuilding right now and want to see where that takes me. So, well, I still go out and sail a little bit. I'm not doing as much chartering or long distance stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. Charting.
You
I've
back?
yeah, I appreciate it. I just said that it was a quick little checkout. But yeah, I never been the only boat I've been on I can remember was when I was in middle school. We went to the battleship in Wilmington, and I was scared because they had that long, bridge coming across of it, and I was a country boy. And I heard stories about the alligators and stuff in there. I was scared to death. I was probably about 11 years old. But yeah, I mean, and also you served in the Coast Guard too.
So no, I'm just a Coast Guard captain. Like that's where the captain's license comes from.
Oh, okay. So you're captain, like aye, captain,
Yes,
Yes, check,
yes.
yeah. Here you go. We have some comments here. Shout out to my man, you know, sorry, KL. He says, how long do you see yourself competing?
So my goal is to just go for another 5 years at least, because then I'll be 40, and I want to see if I can make it to the O. Um, just push, train as hard as I can for the next 5 years. Stay probably here in Chicago, and then after that, I might dip my toes into something else, because I tend to do that. I'll switch hobbies or passions every couple of years, but at least another 5, I'll be around for sure.
Well, I think everybody has that want the exit plan because sometimes some ladies come into sport because they found this as a passion, and then after a while, the passion is not the same anymore. I mean, I remember when this comedian said that when you do something that you love and it starts becoming a job, there's no fun anymore. It's good to find something outside of your life. And you already have that with your performance arts, your diving, your ship sailing. I mean, some people just they live for bodybuilding. The training, the dieting, everything else, everything. You know, it's so much to it, but it's good to have something to look, to fall back on, just in case, because bodybuilding is not a very lucrative career. To get into it.
Yeah. And it's very isolating at times. I mean, especially, I mean, there's like 9 months out of the year where I'm like, sorry, I can't come to your social event. Sorry, I can't travel. No wedding, or I can't go on that trip. And, I feel like I'm missing out on a large chunk of my life and socializing in general. So, and also, I mean, you can't do it forever. I mean, you can, but you can't really compete like at a professional level forever. At least I wouldn't want to. You got to think about your health long term and longevity and quality of life.
That's important because recently we had some ladies retired this year, and Lorraine Moon, she's retired. One lady who's also from Florida, that is Mikaela Aycock, she's hung up her posing suit. A couple others, and then also there was some issues, some ladies passing away. Some wasn't. There's always when you hear stories of bodybuilding dying, say, "Oh, it has to do with steroids." No, sometimes people just have a problem. Sometimes either something mental or they took the wrong stuff at that time. It's so many different factors. You can't just blame it on one thing. But because bodybuilding is a extreme sport, it's so easy to people from the outside who don't understand it, we don't know, we're not educated on it to make those assumptions. That was saying when you assume you make an ass out of you more or less than me. We have here a comment. Shout out to my man John Simpkins. He got something for you, Cat. He says, "Cat, the Captain Black it has a ring to it." Shout out, thank you, man. Also, my man DJ here says she's the heavy metal wild girl type, very unique. Also, from a man XA saying,